How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? Never really did. Fight/hide my depression every single day. Pathetic story, but the reason I backed off is that if I did end it all, I would let the person who put me in that state win. I'm basically materialized hatred at this point, but I have no intention on dying. I haven't. I have them every day. Immediately when I wake up. But, I haven't attempted in 9 years. Why? I argue with myself. Every day. For the past 9 years. It is a simple argument. Suicidal me has to convince logical me that suicide is the only, most appropriate logical conclusion. 9 years. 2 breakups, 1 really, really hard. Pulling a parent of life support, duping out of college to handle affairs, being broke, being really broke, currently broke, lonely, and nearly homeless. I still always find a flaw in the logic. Sometimes before I shower, sometimes after coffee. Sometimes I fall asleep before the argument is over, so I have to start over the next morning. My therapist found it amazing when I told her. She says that I have effectively found a way to separately operate my emotive and logical reasoning centers. All I know is, I'm still alive and bipolar hasn't beaten me yet. Although, I didn't know why I took the time to type this, the thread is old enough it'll clearly be buried. Skeptical. Guess I just wanted to explain myself anonymously. My therapist taught me the HALT method. Are you hungry? Angry? Lonely? Tired? Just going through the list and seeing if something there can be addressed helps. Obviously, those things rarely cause suicidal thoughts or depression on their own. But they do exacerbate the problem. Sometimes it doesn't take much to tip your depression over from manageable to too much to handle. I tell myself, my dog will never know why I stopped being around. My dog, Midna, is my absolute world. She's a Pinzu and she's absolutely adorable. She's always there when I have panic attacks, to the point I got her certified to be my companion. She's also the reason I don't text and drive. Same concept. She'll never know why I never came home. My dog would miss me. If I kill myself today, I won't be able to play all those games I bought on Steam. Serious. Suicide eliminates the chance of life getting any better. It's a cliche-ish quote, but it helped me. I didn't. I'm just better prepared for when they happen. Also, I promised myself I won't act on them until I'm 70, that way I'm around for a few more decades instead of indefinitely, unless the powers that be decide my time is up before then. Honestly, the biggest thing was having a friend near me commit suicide. Seeing the after effects and how much it messed with everyone. Our campus had a memorial and my therapist was there. I just remember looking at her and saying, I don't think I could ever do this to them. Thing is, it is easy to lose sight of all of that when you hit rock bottom. But seeing it and feeling and being surrounded by that loss and seeing people affected that you didn't even know would be. It was a memory I still can't shake. And I've had my moments. Suicide and depression kinda always linger in the back of my mind. But that memory always comes back. Moderator announcement: read more. I can't speak for myself, but when a friend of mine was going through a very dark time in his head, he found it very helpful to sort of dive into other people's lives and help them out. For example, he would sit with me while I stressed about exams and help me study. It seemed like helping others allowed him to get out of his head and focus on other things going on in, if not his own life, then the lives of his friends. Unfinished book series. It doesn't cure suicidal thoughts, but thinking about how I'll never read the next book if I act on them helps me give them the middle finger. Ask yourself, if I'm going to die anyway, why make it at the lowest point of my life? I decided to finally let someone else know how I felt. This allowed me to admit I needed help, let them help me find help and encourage me along the way. I ended up in therapy and on antidepressants. Very happy I stayed alive and asked for help. I have intrusive thoughts, so I'm never not gonna have random suicidal thoughts. But I learned in college that I have them a lot less when I'm with other people. So I stuck with my friends, and my extroverted brain began to be less and less suicidal. Also helped that as the future went on, I had less things to dread. I met someone who changed my life. For me, I think of things I want to do before I die. I try to keep finding hooks to keep me going, even if it's having one more favorite meal. The last time I felt close to doing it, I went to the animal shelter to visit the dogs and cats there. Seeing them so miserable, and the joy I brought them by visiting them, I ended up feeling better. And I've gone back many times. Nothing really, just time away from what was causing the negativity in my life. Not sure if I count those. I never really had suicidal thoughts, just a complete lack of desire to live and several self-destructive physical manifestations of that. If you're struggling yourself, I'd say go talk to someone. That and start going to the gym, as it was something I did myself a while ago and it has helped with my mental and physical health dramatically. Talking to someone. I'm not talking therapy or a shrink, although I do see them and think they're wonderful, but when things got bad I texted my best friend and I told her everything. The back and forth was so helpful. If you're in a place where you don't have anyone, then use us, the people online. Find help by sharing your story semi-anonymously to strangers. I started thinking about how my husband and daughter would feel if I killed myself. I've more just been depressed, but even though it is not something I would say to someone else, it weirdly helped to tell myself to just have a stiff upper lip and keep moving forward. Man up, figuratively, be super positive and remind myself not to be an idiot. Like stuff I wouldn't say to somebody else, but it really helped me. That and thinking of my grandpa in World War II and how when asked if he was scared going into battle, he very casually said no like it was nothing. I think about him and what he would expect of me. You could think of that too. I dip in and out of depression depending on the situation my life is in and my interactions with people. If I have bad enough depression/anxiety for long enough, it will lead me to suicidal thoughts to some extent. It's the negativity and negative thoughts that fester and accumulate. Normally I get that way over thinking about the sad state of my life too much, or think about how lonely or helpless I am. Typically in the past when I've thought that way I did one or a combination of several things. Laugh and smile. Getting your endorphin and serotonin levels up is important. If I was feeling down I would go find some funny anime to watch, a comedy, a TV series, music, or go to the gym and work out. Anything that you know feels good to you. It's best to do this naturally. Drugs can be questionable in how well they help you, illegal or not. Seek out friends. Your friends and family can tell you're having changes in behavior. If they're good friends or family you're close to, go to them and talk. Don't even have to tell them about the thoughts you're having, because even if they're close, they might not know how to handle that. Go to them and have fun if you're both able to. Even better if it's a group. Your circle. Occupy and distract yourself. If you're able to, fill in the time of your day with productivity. Read, play video games, do work outside or go for a run. Most people pick video games. The point is to distract your mind from the thoughts you're having and replace them with something else. Try new things/make a change. You might find new excitement and happiness in new things. If there's something you don't do or haven't done before, then give it a try. And finally, when you realize you're thinking suicidal, think of the light at the end of the tunnel. By that I mean the feelings you're having are temporary. They will come and they'll go. Something will lift you out of it and you'll come into the light again. Edit, journaling helps too. I was pretty hung up after my last girlfriend broke up with me, through text. I heard sometime around then that writing down your feelings helps you feel better. In my case it certainly did. Not by a huge amount, but at least I had all my thoughts collected mentally and documented physically. It helps you focus in more on what's really troubling you, and you can try to work it out after. Surrounding myself with friends who cared, and deciding to stand up for myself, and psilocybin. I remember I have a son who I won't see grow up. Never see him date his first girl, get his first pubes, get in trouble with the police, get married and have his own child. I'm currently in the process of trying my best to crawl out of this deep hole my depression has me in, and whenever I had have suicidal thoughts, thinking about the impact me killing myself would have on my family, especially my mother, is what always makes me snap out of it and realize I would be doing something very selfish if I were to ever go through with it. I always try to remember that someone has to find me. And I wouldn't want anyone to have to go through that and live with that traumatizing image in the back of their mind for the rest of their life just because I chose the easy way out.